I will now show you a demo of Interpod Affinity. So I'm here now in the Affinity folder of my Kubernetes course Git repository. And here I have a file podaffinity.yml. Let's have a look at this. It's going to deploy two deployments. First deployment is podaffinity 1. Second one is podaffinity 2. This first deployment is just a container, no podaffinity defined. It's the second one that has a podaffinity defined. And here we're going to say affinity, podaffinity, required during scheduling, ignored during execution. Then we have a label sector, app in podaffinity 1. If this is true, then the pod will be scheduled on the node that has the same host name. So this is Redis. So that means that the Redis pod is always going to be scheduled next to the first pod, the podaffinity 1 pod. Let's kubectl create this podaffinity. 2 pods created. Container creating. Let's use O wide, and then we can see on what nodes they are created. Both of them are running. Both of them are on the same node. Maybe that's coincidence. So let's scale this deployment. Replicas 4 maybe of our deployment podaffinity 2. Now it's scaled. All the new pods are on the same node. So you see podaffinity makes sure that the new pod, the second one, podaffinity 2, is always scheduled next to the first one. We can use different labels as well. So let's say that we kubectl delete this podaffinity to delete those two deployments. Let's have a look at our labels. Get nodes, describe nodes, will give us our labels. So here, these are all the labels that we can use. For example, if I want to use the failure domain, the zone, then we can also use this. And podaffinity, here we can just change the topology key in the failure domain. This will also work. I only launched in one zone, so you will not see that it doesn't get scheduled on one of the nodes because they are always all in the same zone, but you will see that now they will be scheduled on all the nodes that are in the same region, in the same availability zone. So let's create it again. Let's scale this to 5. kubectl get nodes, all wide, get pods is what I'm looking for. And you see now they are getting scheduled on different nodes because now we are using the failure domain and not the host name. So that's it for this demo. In the next demo, I'll show you how pod anti-affinity works.